Okay, technically, training camp is over. You've got the preseason game, the final preseason game, and then you move to kind of the preparation. So technically, the preseason's over, but on the final day of the preseason, Panay Sewell injures his foot, and the latest is he's good. So, but the thing with that is when you learn that Panay Sewell's hurt, you really start to be like, whoa, whoa. You take it for granted how good he is and just his ability. So it's like, oh man, Panay, we need him. And I saw somewhere that he's been in 51 out of 52 games or something. Like he's only missed one game. That's right tackle, left tackle. He's filled in for Decker. So I knew that he was pretty dependable, of course, but I didn't realize that he's only missed one game in his career so far with the Lions. So there's going to be injuries. It's fine. But at the end of the day, when you got Panay Sewell on the right hand side, it's like, let's go. Right. You just know you got Panay Sewell. Then it's like, all right, we can have some adjustments. Some things can happen. I'm all for that. But here's kind of the latest, right? So here's the latest. You've got Panay Sewell's good. Is according to this, it's a quick thing. We don't know for sure. Panay Sewell is good. You've got all these guys coming back: Jahmyr Gibbs, Sam Laporta, Enos Rakestraw. You've got Terrion Arnold. Everybody's going to be coming back after this final preseason game. So you got this final preseason game that really, I think things are kind of already set, but hey, you're going out there. The thought is just go do your thing the best you can. And if you don't make this team, maybe somebody else will see your tape and you'll be out there. But for the most part, these final guys that are playing really doesn't matter. Let's get through this, get to the final cuts. And then once we get in the final cuts, we can go and really start getting ready for 2 weeks from now playing the Rams. 2 weeks from now playing the Rams. And really the hope is that the Rams start the season slow. That's what they've kind of done just because they don't play their starters. They don't practice as hard as the Lions do, that kind of practice. It's more like just everybody stay healthy. So you saw it last year. The Rams started slow. Hopefully, same thing happens here. We play them in 2 weeks. Like, man, 2 weeks, they're not ready. And we've been practicing hard. And that's the whole thing. And I made a video today talking about this where the Lions just huge. Yes, dodged a bullet. Panay Sewell should be good. But I was talking about how the Lions practice hard. So if they can get out of training camp, doing their practices like they do them, and stay healthy, could be an absolute game changer for us. And that's what's happened. And then Panay Sewell gets hurt, and it's like, oh my gosh, Panay. But it seems to be that he's fine, and that's where, okay, I'm looking around. I don't see where the Lions have any significant injuries, right? They've got Kaminsky went out early. That's all right because we've got guys like Levi Onwuzurike that are really playing well. And so you start looking around at our injury list, and it's great. Even DJ Reader, for a minute there, it didn't look like DJ Reader was going to be able to play for a couple weeks, or it's like you just didn't know. It seems like he's going to be back and practicing and ready for week 1. So that's huge. And so I'm just excited to see what happens there. Excited to see how the Lions use him, how much they use him. I'm cool if they don't use him at all and just keep him healthy and rest until we need him late in the season. So it'll be interesting to see. And I'm excited to see what the Lions do. So next thing I was thinking about was this wide receiver crew, Jameson Williams being the one that we really want to be watching, right? Jameson Williams could be really good. It's not just like, man, I hope he's good. We can catch some long passes. It's like, man, what if he's really good? 3rd year, really seems confident. You've got Amon-Ra St. Brown entering his prime. Khalif Raymond they love. So there's 3 right there. You got Jahmyr Gibbs, Sam Laporta. So there's 5 weapons without even counting David Montgomery. You count David Montgomery as well. So there's 6 really strong weapons that the Lions can count on. And the Lions can count on these guys. So that's what's really exciting about this wide receiver group is that it makes you a little nervous that Dan Campbell keeps saying he wants somebody to step up in the wide receiver group, step up, step up. You're like, dude, so no one's stepping up then? Like Donovan Peoples-Jones, because we're trying to fill that Josh Reynolds void. So it's like, man, what? Like no one's stepping up. But it's like somebody will, but even still, we've got really so much talent all over the place. It's really hard to believe how much talent, and it's easy to take it for granted. So excited for it. Can't wait to see what the Lions roll out there. As far as offensively, we kind of know what we'd like to do, but at the same time, each year, each offseason, Ben Johnson just gets more creative, reinvents himself. So Ben Johnson, I would anticipate, is going to have some really good stuff. I can't wait to see what he does, especially against the Rams, because we just played the Rams. And so you got to switch it up a little bit, right? I mean, gee whiz. This is going to be crazy. So let me oh man. Here's an old play I found. The old inside handoff scooperoo here. Look at this. Whoop. Love it. Quick hitting runs. Because you've got guys that can do it. You got Khalif Raymond. You've got these. And then off of the quick hitting runs, and then you can do little things like that. So, man, Ben Johnson is just going to be crazy. Remember the Bills defensive coordinator said he's the hardest to defend or hardest to prepare for? Dude, let's go. So you got healthy. We're healthy all around. You've got guys. You've got an offense that's going to be good. You got a defense that's going to be good, and also you've got guys like Sion Vaki. You've got the kicker now is doing really well. So if you're a fan of the Lions, you're feeling good going into this season. I also feel good about the schedule. If you look at the schedule, it's tough. I mean, it's a first place schedule, but let's pull it up. I love that we get our tough games early. I love that most of the stuff's indoors or in nice weather. I'm like that really matters. It just does. And if you don't think it does, it does. All right, let's pull up the schedule and take a look at this here. All right. So this one's actually kind of hard to see, but it's fine. The Rams, Sunday Night Football at home. Okay, here we go. Buccaneers. Buccaneers, I think, are really good, but we are just a tough matchup for them. Simple. We match up well against them. So it's just nice because I do think they're really good. I think Baker Mayfield's not as bad as everyone thinks. So I love that. Yes, for sure. That we'll get to that in just a second. That's going to be crazy. The game in Dallas. Then Arizona Cardinals at Arizona. Nice weather. I hate playing out there, but at the same time, there's no way they can be any good. I mean, they actually played pretty hard last year, but there's no way they're good. They can be like little stingy team, but love that. Then, so I love having 3 out of our first 4 games at home. But these 2 games are tricky to me. Arizona, I just don't like that going out there. And then Seattle Seahawks, for whatever reason, we can't beat them. We can't do anything against them. They always beat us. Just like, oh my gosh, it's just so annoying. And then the thing I don't like, we got an early bye week. So, man, these 4 games, if your bye week's early, then everything goes into these 4 games that you can possibly get away from it. And then you go at Dallas, at Minnesota, following the bye week. Minnesota, not worried at all. Dallas, man, they just play well at home early in the season. So that's a tough one. But love it. But at home, or in a dome. So it's like, let's go. Titans are not going to be good, and we got them at home. I love that. And then here's our first divisional game at Green Bay, November 3rd. I think that's perfect. November, it's still early November. The weather is, a little spotty, but it's not going to be frigid. So I love that. And Yes, Penei Sewell said he's good. Or no, he didn't say he's good. There was a source from in the locker room said that Penei is good. I don't know. That's all I need to hear, though, that it's not major. We would, if it was major, we'd hear about it by now, but it sounds like he's good. Sweet. All right, let's keep going through the schedule. So here's this stretch right here, at Houston, Sunday night game. That's tough. At Green Bay, at Houston, that back-to-back is going to be tough. But then Jacksonville's kind of weird. At the Colts, tough little sneaky game there. And then the Thanksgiving game against the Bears, which I just hate. I hate that. I want to play somebody different and unique on Thanksgiving. Would be my preference, but no one's listening to me. That's fine. But look at this little 3-game stretcher at home here of tough, kind of the season, if you will, because the Buffalo Bills, man, that's going to be crazy. And then you've got at Chicago, at San Fran. This is the stretch of the schedule that's just going to be Chicago, Green Bay, Buffalo, at Chicago, at San Francisco. So wow, the first time we see the Bears is actually all the way into Thanksgiving. So, which I don't like that. I would have liked to play them early before Caleb's figuring things out. Man, we're talking about the wide receiver a lot. And the wide receivers, it's tough because I feel like we have a pretty full room, and we're looking for one other guy to step up, and for whatever reason, he just hasn't yet. Donovan Peoples-Jones, Antoine Green's hurt, so I think we're gonna roll with who we have in the room, and I just wish one of those guys would step up. I mean, I saw Donovan Peoples-Jones making some plays, so it's a little weird that because he looked pretty good actually. So keep an eye on that. Man, nice. You have a game on your birthday, just kind of hanging out. That's gonna be. I love that. My birthday is in January, so that'd be like NFC Championship game stuff right there. Hey, I'll take it. I think my birthday's on like a Tuesday though. Yeah. Yeah, right there. This, man, that last 3 weeks. I love this Minnesota being the last game of the season. That's awesome. Oh my gosh, that's awesome. Because I mean, there's no guaranteed wins in the NFL, but you got to be feeling pretty good about that. They're on Sam Darnold, because Sam Darnold, not a bad quarterback, right? He's doing his thing. It's like, all right, you're not that bad. But the problem with Sam Darnold is once a game, he throws the worst interceptions in the history of interceptions. And like there's such a difference between like a interception that was a tip ball, got away from a guy, whatever. But when it's just straight up, wow, you didn't even see that guy. That's the stuff he does. So it's like he sucks. I love it. Yeah, great point. I mean, Donovan Peoples-Jones, what we're seeing fully in the games, right? Sudfeld's terrible. I mean, I'm surprised how bad Sudfeld is. It's really, I don't know. What do you expect, I guess, from a third stringer? That's what he is, but it is hard to get some good looks out there when he is so bad. Shockingly bad. I didn't think Sudfeld, I just thought Sudfeld was a decent quarterback, like a fringe starter. I thought when we got him, I was like, oh, sweet, Sudfeld. I don't know what I was thinking. I wasn't, but yeah, exactly. We really can't judge until we see the starters with the wide receivers. I know it's hard to really say because they do look. It looks just slow out there. It's shocking how slow it looks when it's like the second and third string guys. It is pretty weird. Yeah, Sudfeld's weird. Sudfeld couldn't play all year because of injury. Yeah, there's something. I wish Sudfeld was better. I just do. I still think it's Goff and Hendon Hooker, so it probably didn't matter. But the thing I was arguing was since Sudfeld's so bad, you don't really fully know if Hooker's any good. So like, right? So if Hooker's the second string quarterback, it's like, cool. It's like, awesome, Hendon Hooker, second string, baby. But it's like, but is he even okay, or is just Sudfeld that bad? Where if we saw Sudfeld do some just normal stuff, he'd be cool. If Hendon Hooker won this QB2, then you must be better than that. What's like, it's just hard to read the situation because Hendon Hooker, or because Sudfeld's, man, he's bad. It's really bad. And so anyway, we could just beat that dead horse. Sudfeld is the guy that you just want to be like, dude, didn't you know where you're going to throw it before you drop back? Like, throw it. Or look at the number 2. I know it's not that easy, but it's always like he's like, okay, he like takes the snap and then looks to be like, all right, let's see what the guys are doing out there. What routes are they running? I'll see if I can find somebody. And it's like, dude, it's brutal. So again, if you're a Lions fan, you just got to be so pumped. I mean, geez, we just got to be so pumped that the schedule's not that bad. For a first place schedule, it's not that bad. Offense is going to be just carry the team again. Defensively, look at the changes defensively, and you can't tell me that's not going to pay huge dividends when you look at the secondary fully revamped. Linebackers, I mean, I'm sick of it really talking about Derek Barnes always improving every year, and he does, but just by little bits. But Derek Barnes, Jack Campbell, Alex Anzalone, holy smokes. Malcolm Rodriguez suddenly went from like a starter to all these guys just passed him, which is great. And I love that. The next thing is the defensive line. DJ Reader. I mean, you can't put a price tag on that. DJ Reader. Levi Onwuzurike is supposed to be doing outstanding. Can't wait to see him. Of course, you've got Hutch like always. If we can get another defensive end making something, that'd be awesome. Love it, man. Thank you. DJ Reader is good. I don't know if you guys have seen this, but DJ Reader is good to go and should be ready to go week 1, which is, again, I got to check on that because I thought, man, we're just going to hold him out maybe to the bye. Remember, we have an early bye. So I just thought that's kind of what, I don't know. I just assumed that just because he hasn't practiced at all. But it sounds like he's ready to go and could be could be practicing next week. And then he's got 2 weeks and the game's, in 2 weeks. So that'd be huge. I don't know. If I had to bet, and again, not much has come out, haven't seen him a ton, I would bet that he does not make the team. And the reason is, it's like, why isn't he out there? Like when he went in, 3 years ago or whatever, and then he had all those sacks, like, where's he been? It's like, well, I know that his problem is that he's not in the right spot when he's supposed to be. He can rush the passer, great, but he's not in the right spot when he's supposed to be. So then this last year, he was injured most of the year. And even when he tried to get back, but they just didn't really want him to. And now this year, the comments have been, he needs to be where he's supposed to be. He needs to be where he's supposed to be, basically. And it's like, oh my gosh. Okay. And I don't know if there is any trade market for him. Because teams are looking, I think you got to remember, teams are looking at all 32 teams and they're looking at those guys that could get cut. And if it's not Sewell, then they'll go find maybe, and there's another pass rush, or not Sewell. If there's not Houston, then there's going to go be another pass rusher that they can get without giving up any draft capital. Just because you think about it, each team. Oh, Julio Jones, let's go. I'll do that in a second. But what's going on is we are actually finally a team that other teams are going to poach after the cuts, right? Just meaning we've got such a talent-heavy team that guys that don't make the team can make other teams, which is crazy, and just a great spot to be in. So before, we were the bottom feeder teams looking to these really talented teams and saying, like, who are you going to cut? That whether a wide receiver or whatever. I mean, you look at our running back room, one of our running backs will get picked up because if Vaki makes the team, which he should, then we've got our 2 other main guys. So there's 3. Will Craig Reynolds make the team? If not, he's going to get picked up somewhere. Even Jamar Jefferson is people really like him. So it'll be interesting to see what happens and if the Lions can, if they find anybody or who they're going to cut. So I think Craig Reynolds gets cut. I really do. Yep, that's the vibe I get because Dan Campbell is really good at sharing with us things that he wants to. He's just good at sharing where he's at without saying too much. I get it. You can't say too much. And so, but he's just like, I don't have much to say about him. Yeah, I agree. Anytime you got hamstring or anything like that, you just like, just careful. And he is just a Ferrari, just a finely tuned machine. So you're like, all right, careful. Just be careful out there. But how can you tell him to be careful? He runs hot. He's tight. Oh my gosh, he's so fast, and it'll be interesting to see. I hope same. What was I gonna say? Yeah, so the defensive line I'm really excited about. I think Aaron Glenn is a good coach, and I think he hasn't had the right players or fully stocked team on the defensive side of the ball, and I think he will now. So I'm excited to see what that looks like. Yeah, that'd be nice, wouldn't it? Just to have another really solid guy opposite of Hutch. I haven't seen much conversation on that. Who's opposite of Aiden Hutchinson? So, again, I think we'll really find out a lot here in the next couple of weeks as we get down to the cuts and we start having some fun with who's really going to be in there and who's really going to start and just see who's going to be defensive end. I think you can look at it in a couple ways and you can say, okay, the Lions secondary not only is more talented, but guys that fit the scheme. So if you remember last year, I mean, Cam Sutton just fell off halfway through the year, and it was like, oh my gosh, Jerry Jacobs was never I don't even think he's in the league anymore. I mean, he's no good. But he did the best he could. He's like an undrafted dude. You got, who was the guy from that was on the team forever there that he was like a safety corner. I can't think of his name, but I mean, Will Harris. He's coming in. You're like, dude, Will Harris. So look at just those names right there, and you trade that with a high pick in Terrion Arnold, Rakestraw, Dan Campbell. Speaking of Dan Campbell talking about people, he talks about Rakestraw a lot. And then Brian Branch in his second year, tremendous. Carlton Davis, a veteran number 1 lockdown corner that now is on our team. Cam Sutton was that. So, right. So I don't want to get too excited because I don't know what could happen, but Cam Sutton was that when he came to us. All right, you're the number 1 lockdown. And he was for like the first few games, but then he just completely fell off. So you've got guys that are just, you got Iffy Melifonwu. You've got Brian Branch can go to safety now because Amik Robertson's there. So there's just good players versus Will Harris. Like that's who we had. All right, well, we got some injury. Will Harris come in, or Vildor had to come in because Will Harris couldn't even do it. But Vildor's not even bad. But Vildor's where he should be. He's a good, solid backup. That's right. We made it. Just me tonight. Just going live a little bit here. I like to do more lives. I don't know. It's fun to talk. It is easier to do with 2 people for sure. And that's a lot more fun because one guy's talking, the other's reading the comments and vice versa. But just going live for a little bit. Nothing crazy here, just for a few minutes talking. Love it. So yeah, let me know in the comments your thoughts on the season and what you think. I mean, I think record-wise, let me know your thoughts record-wise. I think, I don't know, 11 wins. That'll get us in. We just have to win the division. Who cares what your record is? Win the division, You're in the playoffs automatically, and it's a home playoff game. I mean, that's where you want to be. Home playoff game for the Lions, huge. I did not notice that. That'd be cool. That'd be really nice. Yeah, win the division. Win the division is all you're thinking about, because you want to win the division to say you won something, right? Like we're division champs. Well, yeah. But what it really means is, man, playoffs and home field advantage, or home field playoff game. So I don't know. And the reason I say that is because with all of the cuts about to happen, you don't see, I guess you could see a veteran cut, like a good player, but there's so much that's going to happen over the next week with cuts and guys shifting around. I don't think we trade for a wide receiver. I just don't, because I think you keep that draft capital, and there's another guy floating around that, man, just didn't get a chance. He's right on the bubble. Can bring him in for a couple weeks, and maybe he's your guy. I don't know. Tower climber. What kind of towers? Telecom related? What's the word with? I guess they're all telecom related, aren't they? With Maurice Alexander, all those reps going back to practice squad year 3. Why has no one bought him up? Yeah. Maurice Alexander and Tom Kennedy are just out there making plays, reps galore, and they get cut. Tom Kennedy's going to get cut again this year. It's like, jeez, man. Ooh, that'd be fun. I'd like to go to a warm weather game, see the Lions. That'd be awesome. Oh, a little cell phone, little RF frequency stuff. Looking for just looking for problems out there. Fiber coming to the tower, and then from there you take it. You just take it. All right. Yeah, most likely. Yeah, yep. Practice squad. Hopefully. Jeez. I always think about those guys, and I'm thinking about their just their lives. Like how much they're getting paid. Is like, man, is it practice squad sustain you, even though you know that's because the practice squad's not a long-term plan. You're either going to get brought up or you're going to be gone before long. But crazy. Nope. No fan. I'm in a fantasy football league. I don't know when you say host. I get what you're saying, I guess, but in one, defending champ right here. Thank you so much. I had Jared Goff and St. Brown, the combo mambo there, which was just great all season for me. Yeah, Robert Woods, either cut casual or late pick trade. Yeah, Robert Woods. Doesn't that feel Josh Reynolds-y? For sure. That's one I think would be good. Yeah, that's a good one. Who else? Yeah. So anyway, all right, we're coming up 30 minutes. Love it. This was fun. Just jumping on a little bit, talking a little Lions. It's gonna be a fun season. A lot of meaningful games. That's all we want. Meaningful games late into the season. Stuff you can be like, you know what? Lions are on later. Let's go. Like, that's all you want. Are they gonna win the Super Bowl? No idea. Only one team wins the Super Bowl. So that's the thing. It's like, yes, I want them to win the Super Bowl, but I want just meaningful games. I love that last year. Playoff games, NFC Championship games, games to win the division. I mean, there's just like 4 or 5 massive games, more than that if you're winning and playing well, that's what it's all about. And then, yeah, if you can keep rolling into the playoffs, then that's great. So, okay. Love it. Catch all you guys later. Thanks for joining. See ya.